All right, YouTube, what we're working on today is a 2011 Nissan Altima. It's the 2.5 SL model. We're going to be changing the rear coil spring as well as the shock. So without further ado, I've already jacked up my vehicle and supported with a jack stand securely and chucked the front wheels. Now we're going to work on taking the wheel off. So the first thing you'll need is a 21mm to tear these off. Now I'm using an impact tool, which makes it a lot quicker. Put them in a safe place, and we'll remove the tire and get it out of the way. Okay. So the first thing we're going to need to do is I'm going to get a jack, and I'm going to place it under this control arm here. So I got it on a jack stand. I have my jack ready to go. And to set it on the control arm, this is, when you're looking, let me straighten you out here a little bit. So this is coming down here. There's your shock right here. There's your coil spring that we're going to be changing. And we're going to have to be removing these bolts here to drop the control arm. That's going to give us the ability to the lower control arm to get the spring out. And we're going to take this out first. This is an 18mm, but before we do that, we're going to put some pressure with the jack under the end of this control arm just to support it. And then as you follow the shock up, you go all the way up inside there. See if I can get you in there. There's a bolt there and a bolt there. Those are 13mm. So now don't go throwing away this shock, because you're going to need to take some of these components off to put onto the new shock. So that way you kind of see what I'm doing here without seeing. So hold tight and I'll get you set back up. Okay, so we've got the wheel off the vehicle. So what we're going to do now is we're doing the left side. So here's the left muffler. There's your left tire. I'm going to follow the exhaust pipe there. Right there where you see that yellow right there. That bolt right there, that is what holds on the control arm, lower control arm on the rear here, and that also sets your alignment with this little camber screw in there. So what I did was I took a chisel and made a little chisel mark just in case I rub off the chalk, but I used some of that chalk there. I don't know if it's showing up or it's just getting whited out. There we go. See that yellow there? That's the marking for the alignment. You want to get as close as possible. You're still going to have to do an alignment anyway, but at least get it as close as possible. So we're going to go ahead and continue on here and doing this shock and spring on this 2011 Nissan Altima. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to go ahead and get this jacked up on the control arm a little bit here. Just to get some pressure off of this. So, probably about all the further you need to go right there. And then I have a couple extensions here with my 13, which I'm going to take that off second. First, I'm going to break it loose down here on this nut. Now, the back of the shock actually has a welded nut right on it, so you don't actually have to go through the effort of putting like a backup wrench or anything on it. So you can just basically just go right at it. It's an 18mm. In here, I'm just taking this lower shock bolt loose here. Not much to really see at the moment. Got you at a bad angle here. Okay, put your bolt aside, put your impact aside. So your shock should be loose now. So now we're going to go up inside the tower here, the wheel well. We're going to crack these 13s loose that I pointed out to you. Got some extensions here. Doesn't take very much. Put them in a safe place because you'll need to reuse those. And then your shock's just going to fall right out. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what to do to prepare your new shock. Okay, we're inside the garage here. What we need to do is prepare the shock. This is the new shock by Monroe that we're going to be replacing with. We have to take some of these items from here and move it over to the new one. The one particular kit I got did come with the shock mount, which was kind of nice, and a new nut. This is the shock part number here, which is the Monroe. If you go with those, there's a 55637, and that's one we're choosing to go with. They're same for each side, so we're going to hand the camera over here, and we're just going to go ahead and take off this little booty here first, put that aside, and then I believe, if I'm not mistaken, now it's a 16 here. I got to get my 16. Hold on a minute. What we're going to do is put the 16 on here, and then I'm just going to use this crescent wrench here to get on this little end here and tighten that down. It's a little easier to do if I put this in a vise, I'm sure. And then just crack this loose. Not super tight. What this is going to do is enable you to switch all the hardware over from this one, the old one, to the new one. And you could probably reuse these mounts. I don't really think they go bad that often, but it's 100,000 and it came with it, so I'm going to use it. So this is basically, like I said, we're just preparing the shock so we can put it into the vehicle there. So just unscrew that. Now what I do is, so I don't confuse myself, is I will actually lay them out here on the table the same way they come apart. So this goes like this. I'll lay this on top of there like that. And then this part slides off like that. And then the boot comes off. And you can just lay that on the ground. And then they come with this little clip on here that you got to take off, which just allows the strut to expand, or shock I should say. Don't need it, just put it aside. Alright, and you take your boot, make sure it's nice and clean, which it looks to be in good shape. Goes on just like that. And then get your kit out. Can't see. This thing goes in there like that. Okay. I reassemble this guy here. Take the new one, put the little thing in like that. That like that. Okay, so it goes like that, and it goes like that. So now, just have to basically put this on there like that, run that down like so. The old one. I feel like that should go the other way. I guess not. Alright, just set it up here. Okay. So now, I should have had a 17 here. I got a nice that I have this ratcheting wrench. It'll make life a little easier. probably easier if I use plot or vice grips just to hold it still from dancing everywhere. Yes, probably should just put this in a vise and make life easier. Kind of hold it still. Can't see what I'm doing. There we go. And basically just go until it bottoms out and stops. I mean, you don't have to be ridiculous on here. It has to be tight, but not crazy. All you're doing is pinching the mount and everything down into place. Oops. Come on, get on there. Okay, so now your shock is prepared to go back into the vehicle, like so. And then you don't really need to keep the old stuff. We'll go ahead and put this little cover back on there that just weatherproofs everything. And we should be good to go ahead and get this put back up in the vehicle then. So stay tuned for the next part. Okay, we're back outside. Just because for recording purposes, it was easier than trying to hold the camera. So I got this shock put back up in there where I showed you. There's two studs that hang out of the body of the vehicle that these little 13 millimeter bolts go onto, the little nuts I should say. And all I'm going to do is, now that I have them positioned and started by hand, I'm going to switch over to tighten, go up in here with these extensions and just give them a couple little, you don't have to over tighten these, you'll break these, so don't over tighten them, just get them snug. And I'm sure there's a torque spec, but that's probably all you need to do. And that's it. So now the shock will be done and it's ready to go. But now we're going to work on taking the spring out. So like I said, we've already first marked the alignment like I showed you. So now we're going to go ahead and carefully try to jack up this control arm here to take off some of the tension here from the spring, so I can loosen this like so. Now what we need to do is get our 18 back on here again. We're done with the 13s. Let's see here. 18. Let's see here. I should have an 8. Thought I had an 18 out here somewhere. I do. And we're going to go down here on this guy. This is the part that the lower control arm knuckle. 18 here. Backup wrench back here on the back of it. We're going to go ahead and drive that out of there now. So that's what we're doing now, so that you guys can see what I'm doing a little better. Okay. Now, oops, I'm not used to this. There you go. So now we got the nut and everything and the bolt. We're going to put that aside in a safe place. And now we should be able to carefully let this jack down very slowly. And as you can see, stuff's going to start coming apart. That's what you want. And it relieves that spring tension. So now your spring is nice and loose inside here. So hopefully you guys can see that. So you want to kind of take a visual of how your spring is in there, because you need to know how it goes back. And they are right and left, which means you can only put the right one on the right passenger side and so on. So this should just pull out of here in a perfect world. So I think I'm gonna have to loosen up the control arm a little bit there because it's stuck. So I'm gonna go in there. I forgot to do that. So in order for it to drop further, we have to loosen up this control arm here. Gotta put it on loosen first. That's the reason for marking your alignment. There we go. So now that that's loose, the spring literally just falls out. So I'll go ahead and pull this out and just take an idea of how it was in there. And then you're going to have to transfer over your spring mount bushing. We're going to clean it up first. I'm going to set the spring aside and get a rag here. Clean that up. I'm just going to use some basic brake clean, basically. Nothing fancy, and just clean it up here. All right. Pretty simple job for the most part. I can't really complain too much. The other side went pretty good. I just forgot to put the one dust cover back on the top of the shock, so I just got to drop the shock down, throw it on, and screw it back in. So that should only take me a few minutes to do. I'm not overly worried about it. And just cleaning this up. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just trying to get the mud and dirt out of it, because that just all leads for, you know, open up room for corrosion if you leave that stuff in there like that. These GoPros, screen times out so quickly on them, I can't. Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just in general, get the dirt out, prevent any rust. Okay, looks pretty good, really. Put that down for a minute. Do the same here. I'm gonna go ahead and see here. I can't see what you're seeing here. I'm gonna clean this one up a little bit, make sure there's no dirt or anything in here. Looks pretty clean, actually. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Now, clean up lower control arm here. Like I said, I want to get any dirt or any debris out of here because I don't want the new spring to rust from it. And also prevent this control arm from rotting out too. Bushings don't look too hot on these control arms, to be honest. They don't look bad, but they don't look great either. So something to keep in mind if you're doing this. You may want to part out some control arms. You will need to get an alignment, obviously, when you're done here. That's going to be a thing that you'll have to do. Hit that with a little bit more brake clean. Like I said, this is just more for rust prevention. Get all the dirt out of there. Okay. Now what I want to do, now I usually use fluid film for this, but I'm just going to take some of this white lithium grease and coat this down. This is just going to help prevent any rust from hopefully getting in there. Ouch. That's sharp. Okay. All right. New spring going in here. Like I said, you want to pay attention to how they came out. So this end here, see what you're looking at. This end it's closed in, this goes up top. The end that's separated here goes in the bottom, which will fit into here, into that like so. And then we're just going to put it back in. And unfortunately, you're probably not going to see very much for me getting in here, but you'll have the general idea. Now there is a spot in the lower control arm that this locks into. You'll see what I mean when you're in here. So, and then we'll take that like this, line that up, make sure that's lined up. Now, what we need to do here is tighten the jack down. Okay, you can go ahead and start jacking it. We got a helper here. All right, should be good still. Now, hold on a minute, nothing's lining up here, so we gotta get me out of the way here so I can get in here better. This wheel is not in a good place. Sometimes you gotta it's on the edge of this stupid block. I can't. There we go. Alright, so now make sure you guys are still within some kind of frame of view here. So you see what I'm doing here. So the goal is I need to get that into there. So let me get in here and take a look-see. And I get my bolt ready. Jack it just a little wee bit. Go ahead. Are you doing anything? Go. You gotta jack it. What are you doing?
Good.
Yes. Yes. Go. All right, hold on. Let me see if that. There we go. Gotta get it through this hole here. All right, jack it up a little bit. All right, let it down just a little wee bit. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Go the other way. I'm trying to line it up here, but it's hard to do. All right, hold on. Something's not right here. It's completely out of whack now. Hold on. All right, let me get in here. I can't see. Where's my damn hammer? All right. All right, so that's lined up. And what you want to do is get your nut here, put on the other side of that. Which is an 18. Get your impact wrench with your 18 on it. Get that on tighten. Now, what you want to do is you want to have this at ride height when you tighten this down. So let's get the shock on. Might as well do that while we're in here too. Get the shock bolt started. Now, make sure that that starts in okay. Alright, so what I'm doing, I'm tightening this upper shock bolt here. I don't know if you're even seeing what I'm seeing here, which is right there. We're going to tighten that down while we got load on the vehicle here. There we go. That should be tight enough. Now we're going to tighten down the other bolt, which was down at the bottom of this control arm down here with the backup wrench. We're going to go under here and grab it. It's got the jack putting the ride height on it, so the bushings don't get overstressed. Alright, that should be good. And then you want to remember, while you have the weight on it and everything in ride height position, you want to remember to go in and tighten that bolt on the back of the control arm. Put that back on there, which is all the way back in here where I showed you earlier in the video. The socket on there. Get on there. Get on there. There we go. Yeah, so I'm just tightening that up here. Okay, so that's good. Doesn't look like our alignment camber moved at all, so that's a plus. Now we should be safe. Everything's tight, everything's secure. Should be safe to get your jack out of there now. Slowly let that down nice and gently. And then I'll bring you in for a closer view. All right, so we got everything connected back up here. We got your shock tightened. Like I said, there's a welded nut on the back of the shock. Got that nut in. It's an 18 millimeter. Got everything in there secure. There's those two bolts there. Those are 13s. Those are tight. Our shock's put together correctly. Your spring is in correct position, and everything looks good there. That nut way right in the very center of your screen there is the, yeah, right in a smack dab. That there, I tighten that up. That's for your alignment and also your lower control arm bolt. Got this all tightened up here at ride height, and there's the nut on the back that's in the middle of your screen way down there. That's tight. And then basically just go ahead and make sure everything looks good. Put your wheel back on and tighten your lug nuts to factory specs. Take it for a test drive. I highly recommend getting it aligned after this. But we put the Moog springs on there. The Moog have a much thicker spring than the factory springs. I mean, I don't know if you can tell the difference in the video or not. Probably not. There's a significant difference in the thickness and the amount of coils too. So they're supposed to improve with these Altimas that tend to sag when you put people in the back seat. It's supposed to improve the ride as well as not have it so that the whole car sitting on the ground feels like it's dragging. So I'll show you the part number real quick. You can get these on the Amazon. I'm a huge fan of Amazon, as y'all know from my videos. These are the Moog coil springs here. 81589. They both come together in a box, which is kind of neat. So this side's already done. Like I said, I'm gonna have to pop this wheel back off anyway because I need to put that dust cover off back on. So hopefully this video helps somebody. It's a pretty easy job. It would have taken me way less time if I wasn't recording it, but hopefully this gives somebody some guidance. Really all you need is an 18 millimeter, 17 millimeter. You can do all this with some basic hand tools. 21 millimeter for taking them lug nuts off. Good jack stands, a nice jack. I use this DeWalt Impact. It's my brother's. I had the air hose hooked up. I ended up not even using it. So yeah, but you know, please rate, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.